Right, now the next step we're going to take for this Megasquirt setup, Megasquirt recommends that all the accessories get run off the fuel pump relay so that they're not live just when the key's on. So that includes injectors and coil and stuff. The factory Subaru system doesn't work like that. The injectors are powered via the resistor, the dropping resistor, the whole time through a fusible link, right? They have permanent power to them. So I need to change that because there's a chance they can feed back through the Megasquirt board and cause some problems. And the ignition coil is always powered when the key's on, righto? So what I'm going to do is set up relays on both of those two units, activated off the fuel pump, so that they're just running when the actual engine is running or the initial prime. Okay, so how I'm going to do that, I'm just going to intercept the wires just before both units. Okay, so it's going to be cut here, and I'm going to go up to a relay. And the points of the relay are going to be across the lead, and then the coil of the relay is just going to go to earth. Trying to draw over tape here, so it's not really working, but you get the idea. And then the other end of the coil is going to come round, 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 round. And for now, until I check that this is going to work with the factory system, okay, I'm just going to tap into the fuel pump. And the ignition coil is going to be the same. This wire is going to run in and out of the relay. Relay will be grounded. And then the end of the coil will come around from the fuel pump also. So let's do that. Right, so I'm going to do the injector relay first. Now, the earth terminal's off the battery because we don't want to be messing around with any kind of power leads here with the battery connected. So that's the injector resistor connector, okay, up on the right hand strut tower. Now the feed wire, the permanent power feed wire, is this red one. So we're going to want to cut it, because that's the one we're going to intercept and go in and out of the relay with. Alright. Alright, so there it is. Now remember, this is purely just temporary as a test of concept. Okay, so I've got it wired up. The injector feed is going in and out of the relay to the dropping resistor. And then this lead here is from, I've got this tapped into the fuel pump interception lead I made a while ago in my fuel pump test video. So this is plus 12 volts when the fuel pump's running, which is controlled by the fuel pump relay. And this one's just a ground. So relay coil, relay points. Right, yeah. So I'm just going to plug it into this relay here. So that's the injector side of the equation done. Now let's move on to the coil. Okay, so now it's time for the coil power supply to run that through the relay. Now this one is a little bit more involved in this one. So the power goes to the igniter, right? And the igniter is this little guy under the coil here. It's called the power transistor in the factory diagrams. And it's got this 2-pin plug on it. So we're just going to take that off, okay? Now it's this one here is the power supply. this one, which is a black white wire, that's the power supply, and then this one is the output from the computer, which is a white yellow. So that's the black white wire we want to go in to the relay and then back out of the relay to the power transistor. But this white yellow wire, which is the output from the computer, we just need to make a link from this plug to it, because I don't want to chop into the factory loom at this point here, okay? Okay, so we've got the link lead here, and this is going to go from the white yellow lead, which is the computer output. So this one, he's going to plug on there. Like that. And then into there. Like that. Got our new relay lead going to come up through there. This one is going to go on the igniter. Just pushes on there, like that. This one is going to go into the power supply output, like that. Lovely. We're going to have a relay here, like that. Once again, this is only temporary, just for proof of conception. And then we've got our 12-volt power supply lead from our fuel pump. We just need to tie into one of these, which is the coil part of the relay, and then one to ground. Right, so there it is. There's our coil power supply relay hooked up. I'm just going to secure it there to our front wheel drive fuse. And a good old zippy. Like that. Remember, all this is only temporary, so I know it looks ugly, but that's fine. So what we do now is plug the factory computer back in, hook the battery back up, and just see that it's happy to run like that. Alright, so I guess the easiest way to test it is to just disconnect the two relays. And give it a crank. Nothing, which I'd expect. So let's reconnect both relays. Try it again. There we are. So now the power routing system's all set up for the injectors and the coil, so that it only turns on with the fuel pump relay. So we can't get any feedback and dump all the fuel into the motor through the injectors, and we can't get the coils firing at an inappropriate time because of the backfire. So I guess we're ready for the next step. So until next time, keep subscribing, sharing and liking our channel. We'll see you next time on Nev's Garage.